Good evening, wrestling fans. It is the one and only BRIANTRONIC back with another review. It is, what is it? It's June 24th, 2020. On this beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. I'm gonna review NXT UK. It was a good show. I don't think that NXT UK obviously gets the watch time from the internet wrestling community as it should. But hey, it is what it is. I watched it. I've always watched it. I'm going to continue to watch it. And this is the first NXT UK review. We're 6 reviews in, you guys. I appreciate everybody who's been listening, everybody who's been putting up with my shenanigans. Yes, Charlotte Flair still is the greatest women's wrestler in the world. She still is. I'm sorry. It's not debatable. She still is. And I can't wait until Money in the Bank when she reclaims the Raw Women's Championship and she becomes champion for the 14th time. But that's all the Charlotte Flair I'm going to talk about today. I'm not going to give you guys all the Charlotte Flair today. But what I am going to do is I'm going to review NXT UK, and I'm going to talk about a little of the news that was broken earlier in the day. Social media shenanigans, things like that. This probably this will probably be a quick one. Without further ado, let's get started. NXT UK kicked it off with Mark Coffey against Shy Samuels. I thought this was a cool match. If I'm not mistaken, I think this might have been Mark Coffey's first singles match. Mark is usually, tagging up with the old Wolfie there. But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me. I'm not 100% sure on that. Hard-hitting match, as I expected. Clothesline after clothesline, slap after slap. I keep getting Mark mixed up with Joe because they look exactly alike. So that was pretty weird to see him in there. I kept saying, "Oh shit, Joe," and I'm like, "Oh wait, no, that's Mark." But that's Mark. Chill. Wrong person. This match ended up ending when Mark hit a diving cutter and then a clothesline for the pin and the 1, 2, 3. I did not like the way this match ended because it seemed kind of like out of nowhere. It almost didn't seem as if Mark Coffey had a finisher. Again, like I said, I think this is his first singles match on NXT UK TV. So, I don't know, man. It was a good match, but the ending was kind of bleh. Amelia McKenzie is interviewed, and she's talking about how happy she is for Meiko Satomura. You know what? I'm going to butcher that name forever. But she's happy that she's the NXT UK Women's Champion. And then she's interrupted by Ilja. Now, this is strange. Every bit of wrestling TV or, each promotion, they all got a scary, almost like vampire-ish, devil-like women's wrestler. In every promotion, it seems like. So, she interrupted her and she says that the two of them have unfinished business. We get a vignette. I know you guys are pretty excited about this one. Blair Davenport set to make her debut soon. Bea Priestley, maybe? It looks like her. It looked like her from the vignette, the shape, the jacket that she was wearing. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it's her. I'm like 95% sure that it's her. But we move on to the next match. Laura D. Matteo. Again, I'm going to butcher these names. They're a little hard. They're a little difficult. So bear with me. She took on Stevie Turner in a pretty good match. Stevie Turner, again, also reminds me of what's the alien chick name on AEW? You know who I'm talking about. You guys know who I'm talking about. The alien chick from AEW. She definitely reminds me of her. Stevie arm drags and stomps to the spine before hitting a sliding clothesline. You can never get too old with a sliding clothesline. I love sliding clotheslines. This match ended with a swinging neck breaker, and then a flatliner for the pin and 1, 2, 3. Stevie Turner will pick up the victory here. Pretty good match. Nothing too shabby. Again, I mean, I feel like NXT UK, I wouldn't say it's hit or miss. I do feel like a lot of the in-ring action is good, but it's different. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them either don't have a character or they have a character and you don't really get it and understand it. I don't know. When you're so used to watching other WWE programs, you're so used to the character, or at least me, in my opinion. I'm so used to the character. There's not much wrestling to it. So, you know, watching NXT UK or even watching an AEW Dark or an Elevation, you kind of, you know, be like, damn, like some good ass wrestling. You know what I mean? After the match, we go backstage with Mark and Wolfgang as they wish Joe Coffey luck in his triple threat match in the main event. We get a look at Kenny Williams playing mind games with Nathan Frazier at the UK PC, trying to intimidate him, you know, so we'll see where that goes and that ends up. Tyler Bate is interviewed ahead of his first ever Heritage Cup defense. I don't know why they call it title. They call it the Heritage Cup title. I don't like that because it's not a title. It's definitely a cup. It's definitely a trophy, right? But they interviewed him ahead of his title defense against Jack Stars next week. That should be a good one. The next match was Oliver Carter versus Teoman. Is it Teoman? Teoman? Again, the pronunciations are always different. Like, you know, people from NXT UK or the UK in general will probably say it different from someone like me. I don't know. But this was a banger. I like Oliver Carter. Oliver Carter was amazing in this match. Teoman reminds me of Nash Carter from MSK. Just the hair and then, you know, I guess the overall look. But Teoman is hard hitting. Don't want to underestimate the size. Definitely a fucking great wrestler in there. This match, Teoman hits a diving DDT for a near fall before he locks in a second crossface for the tap, and then Teoman would pick up the victory via submission. Again, I think this is a really good match. I'm not used to seeing Oliver Carter in singles action either, but his partner, I believe, is out with an injury. So going forward, I would like to see Carter more in some singles action because he's really, 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 really good. Main event action: Dragunov, Rampage Brown, and Joe Coffey. I'm not sure if they announced that this would be a number one contenders match or anything like that. I'm sure that was I'm sure the matches looked at that way, right? Like, you know, one of these guys is going to be next in line for a championship opportunity. And if I'm not wrong, all three of them have had championship opportunities against Walter. So I went ahead and I said I was going to go with Joe Coffey because Rampage Brown, I didn't really like. I mean, he's good, but I didn't really like his match with Walter. Joe Coffey, I felt like, and I felt like Dragunov, I mean, he had that banger with Walter last year. And so I felt like, we'll probably wait for that. They'll probably wait on that. So maybe they'll give Coffey another opportunity. This match was all over the place. Traditional triple threat match, you know, for the most part, everything stayed inside the ring. But then it came by surprise. Dragunov ended up finishing Rampage with a diving torpedo Moscow for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and picks up the win. And Dragunov is now, I guess, next in line for an opportunity at the NXT UK Championship. And Walter, and at post-match, Walter would come out and he would hold up the belt, and it looked like he was like, "Hey, is this what you want, huh?" And then he attacks him, and of course, Walter is standing tall at the end of the broadcast. And it was, like I said, it was a good episode. It was very, very quick. You know, NXT UK is only an hour, so there's only so much you could really review in terms of that. But hey, I like it. I like it. And being as though this is my first NXT UK review, I figured I'm not going to waste too much time going in depth through each match over and over. I said, let me just give them a little sprinkle a little sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the results, talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. And then in future episodes, we'll go more in depth. Hey, maybe I'll even review a past NXT UK pay-per-view. There's not many, but a lot of the action on those UK pay-per-views were spectacular. So that is a wrap on NXT UK. Now I'm gonna get into some of the news, some of the talk, some of the talk of the town. First, I'm gonna talk about WWE SmackDown's return to Madison Square Garden, first broken by PWI's Mike Johnson. September 10th, Madison Square Garden. That should be good for SmackDown or WWE altogether. You know, I was wondering when they were going to go back to Madison Square Garden, and we finally got the answer. September 10th is what it's looking like. First reported by Andrew Zarian of Mat Men Podcast. He says that the WWE Draft is scheduled for August 30th on Raw and September 3rd on SmackDown. He also goes on to say that they have big plans post-draft and that this year's draft is going to have a bigger feel to it. Now, that's the one thing for me, and I know probably for a lot of you out there in the IWC, is that when we have this draft or a shakeup, now I'm glad that it's a draft and not necessarily a shakeup. I would like everybody to be eligible and involved and everybody to kind of just be stripped and switched, and we get new fresh faces. Just face it. That we get new fresh faces. Holy shit, is that a tongue twister? Fresh faces. Holy cow. I hope that we get new fresh faces for the Raw, SmackDown, possibly the NXT and NXT UK brand. I hope NXT UK is in it as well. Excuse me. So I'm hoping and praying that they plan this out perfectly and that they don't just place certain guys and girls in these brands and then all of a sudden they don't have anything planned for them. I hope that they do this draft with creativity in mind and that we get fresh new stories and that, you know, these payoffs, obviously this is going to be post SummerSlam. So whatever happens at SummerSlam, you know, we move on, we're fresh, we get new stories, we get new everything. So I'm hoping for that. Shout out to Andrew Zarian and Mike Johnson for those two nice little reports. Impact Wrestling Slammiversary, according to Fightful Select, is set to have some surprises. Slammiversary's got a thing now or Impact really have been killing it with the surprises and, you know, I'm not really a big fan of their version of the Thunderdome and no fans. I feel like they're suffering right now with no fans and maybe a lack thereof character. Again, I think I forgot to mention, I didn't mention Impact as being one of those shows that kind of have a lot of either good wrestling, no character, or good character, bad wrestling. Hell, even bad character. I mean, I've seen some, never mind. I'll talk more about that in the Impact Wrestling review later on tonight. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Follow me on social media at Within the Ropes, at Brian Tronic, and stay tuned for that. Also, according to Fightful Select, there's at least 2 surprises planned for the show, with outside names making their way into the company, including one already under contract elsewhere and one recent WWE release. And they also reported that Impact is expected to reinvigorate the knockouts division in July. I hope so. Because I know, and we can go back and forth about it, or we cannot. Your opinion is yours, mine is mine. I don't really like any of the women in the Impact knockouts division. I don't like him. I really don't. Deonna Purrazzo, I think, is overrated. I wasn't sad that. Okay, I don't want to say I wasn't sad she got released. That sounds mean. That's not where I'm coming. I'm not coming from a personal standpoint, but like her short time in or short to mid time in NXT, and the lack of TV time or whatever, it just didn't, nothing clicked with me. And I get it. You might come back and say, well, that's the reason why she didn't get the opportunities that she, wanted or deserved or whatever. But okay, she's getting the opportunity in Impact. I felt like they just threw the title on her. She's not that good. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And that's all the news that I pretty much got for today. Obviously, there's the talk online about the writer that currently got hired, that recently got hired, that is currently on the Raw brand, stating, I guess she did a podcast, and she said that she got hired and she knew nothing about the product. Like, she knows nothing about wrestling. She knew nothing about the product, and she got hired. She didn't know who Bobby Lashley was, and she had referred to him as Bobby Ashley. Bobby Ashley, whatever, same thing. So there's talk about that, and I know people are frustrated with WWE in regards to them hiring writers who don't know much about wrestling. But guys, this is nothing new. This is not new. WWE has been hiring writers who've known nothing about wrestling prior to working there for the longest. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but I wouldn't overreact too much to it. I wouldn't, blow my head off and go, oh, fuck, man, the CW. I wouldn't go there. I mean, it's really a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. I say give this girl a chance. I don't think you have to know about wrestling in order to write stories. Again, we're talking about a television show, scripted television. You don't have to know. You can learn the product as you go. You don't really have to know too much in order to write good stories. If you're given, okay, this is the character, this is the character, this is what's been going on. Now, what do you think we should do? Boom. Any good writer is going to say, okay, well, now that I know this, and okay, Bobby Lashley's over here, and all right, Kofi Kingston and the New Day, and wow, and Kofi feels disrespected. Wow, okay. So what I would do is it takes little to no effort if you have the passion, if you're given the right information, right? So I don't even think really in some cases it's really a knock on the writers, and I know a lot of you do think it is the writer's fault. But hey, they're given a job and they're told what to do. They're given a direction. They can only do so much, present a storyline or present something to the higher ups. And if they don't like it, they say, and then it is what it is. So again, I don't think there's anything wrong with her not knowing who Bobby Ashley is or knowing about wrestling in general. Do you need to have a whole writing team full of people who don't know shit about the business? No, you don't. I don't agree with that. No, you don't. But maybe one or two, that's okay. It's diversity, man. Some people shouldn't be not given an opportunity at a job because they don't know something about whatever. If her job is writing and telling stories and doing shit like that, then that's her job. Her job isn't to know wrestling all the way. I think that's bullshit. And I think that we should, champion people who are successful and give them their flowers when they get these jobs and they do successful shit and they are successful and we like it. I think we should, congratulate that. So give her a chance, give whoever else a chance. We'll see how things pan out when fans get back. There's talk saying that, everything's going to be better and they're saving the good stuff for, after SummerSlam. All right, we'll see. Or, excuse me, after fans get back. We will see. I got high hopes for you niggas. We gonna see. That's it, though, for this portion of the review. Like I said, later on, I'm going to be reviewing Impact Wrestling. That'll be later on tonight. So, again, stay tuned for that. I appreciate all of y'all for checking out my very first NXT UK review. Even though it was lightning speed fast, I got to fit in some news and shit. So, that's cool. I've always wanted to do that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Within the Ropes. Follow me at Brian Tronic as well. And stay tuned. The Queen City. Shout out to Bianca Belair for making that the cover of that poster. Fucking superstar, man. Shout out to her. But like I said, Queen City, Charlotte Flair, going to recapture the Raw Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. And that's all I got to say about that.